Could one imagine that the early days of the Third Republic were dominated by the political disruption caused by the Franco-Prussian War of 1870–1871? The Republic found itself in a tricky situation, continuing to wage war after the fall of Emperor Napoleon III in 1870. This era was not just marked by war, but also social upheaval and the infamous Paris Commune, which preceded the final defeat. The German Empire, proclaimed by the German invaders in the Palace of Versailles, annexed the French regions of Alsace, keeping the Territoire de Belfort and Lorraine, specifically the northeastern part, present-day department of Moselle. In the midst of this turmoil, the early governments of the Third Republic weighed the possibility of re-establishing the monarchy. However, disagreements regarding the nature of that monarchy and the rightful occupant of the throne could not be resolved. Consequently, the Third Republic, originally envisioned as a provisional government, instead became the permanent form of government of France. The French constitutional laws of 1875 defined the composition of the Third Republic. It consisted of a Chamber of Deputies and a Senate to form the legislative branch of government and a president to serve as head of state. The call for the re-establishment of the monarchy dominated the tenures of the first two presidents, Adolphe Thiers and Patrice de MacMahon. But as the 1880s rolled in, growing support for the republican form of government among the French populace and a series of republican presidents gradually quashed prospects of a monarchical restoration. Under the Third Republic, France established many colonial possessions, including French Indochina, French Madagascar, French Polynesia, and large territories in West Africa during the scramble for Africa, all of them acquired during the last 2 decades of the 19th century. The early years of the 20th century saw the rise of the Democratic-Republican Alliance, which was originally conceived as a center-left political alliance, but over time became the main center-right party. The period from the start of World War I to the late 1930s featured sharply polarized politics between the Democratic-Republican Alliance and the Radicals. The government fell less than a year after the outbreak of World War II, when Nazi forces occupied much of France and was replaced by the rival governments of Charles de Gaulle's Free France and Philippe Pétain's French state. Adolphe Thiers once called republicanism in the 1870s the form of government that divides France least. However, politics under the Third Republic was sharply polarized. On the left stood reformist France, heir to the French Revolution. On the right stood conservative France, rooted in the peasantry, the Catholic Church, and the army. In spite of France's sharply divided electorate and persistent attempts to overthrow it, the Third Republic endured for 70 years, making it the longest-lasting system of government in France since the collapse of the Ancien Régime in 1789. To summarize, the Third Republic, born out of the chaos of the Franco-Prussian War, went from being a provisional government to becoming the permanent form of government in France. It was a time of political disruption, social upheaval, and colonial expansion. Despite the challenges, the Republic managed to endure for 70 years, a testament to its resilience and the strength of the French people.